Hello and welcome to Tavern Talk. One more show next week and then it's our winter break. Woo! So I'm joined by, I don't know who that is. I've got Kodiak, obviously, with me, but who that guy is, I have absolutely no idea. Say hello, guest.
Hello.
It's Scarface. We'll get into that later. Into the Scarface. So, what we got planned today on Tavern Talk is a bit different than what we normally do. There's been absolutely, really no VR or Pantheon news per se, apart from what's been going on since the stream.
I say, what are you talking about? No news. That was the best news ever.
Obviously, yes, but we're gonna.
That's the only thing that made that stream was the only thing that made 2016 worth living through.
Yep, definitely.
Right.
So we've got the VR Pantheon December newsletter, which we're going to briefly touch on, and then we're going to get into all the good stuff. You know, the Pantheon stream with Code Carnage, and talk a little bit about that again. And then we're going to cover the community coverage. There's a lot of community coverage after that stream went out, a lot of reviews and summaries that are worth mentioning, and then a few screen grabs that I grabbed off of the one of my community coverages. So we have that as well coming up, and obviously, you know, other news related to the Voice of Terminus show. So let's go and quickly briefly touch on the December newsletter that actually came out on the 7th of December, and they introduced the stream that was upcoming, and community spotlight this week or in this month's newsletter was Evovas. You guys might know him in the community. His posts are very, very interesting. He uses a lot of mathematical equations, etc., to explain his outgoings and what he wants to try and bring across. And then we have the Shaman story, which is very interesting, from VR, a Dev Diary Shaman story, posted on the 7th of the 12th as well, with a few images in there to talk a bit about the Shaman. So check out the newsletter. I'll link you guys the link right now, and then we're going to get into the cool stuff. So
the meat and potatoes.
What about that stream we saw on the 9th, on Friday? So
man, my pants are still tight. That's all I can say.
It's definitely come a long way since the last stream in June. It's definitely come a long way since then. You can see a lot of changes. There's been a lot added to the game. I mean, we saw a lot of class reveals or race reveals in the stream. Give us a second.
A little of both. We got a little bit of both, race and class. Yeah. I mean, plus zones and monsters.
Oh, definitely.
And mechanics. Oh my god.
So let's go and talk about your favorite moments. We'll start with you, Lex. Your favorite moments from that stream.
Oh my god. Well, let's see. I'm really super happy to hear about how the crafters will be able to boost an item that drops and bind it to a person. I love that idea. Love it. Makes me want to craft, basically, right there. I love the jump, or the climbing mechanic. And I don't know if it'll make sense, but I love how the group mechanics melded together.
Yeah.
Like, the movement wasn't too fast. The fights lasted a good amount of time. Position mattered. Ads mattered. Crowd control mattered. It made me giddy.
Yeah. What about you, Kodiak? What was for you the moments that made you or were memorable and most valuable to you?
Pretty much the same thing. Like, I mean, the crafting, the grouping, just the world in general looks night and day from when they showed it before. They've just been putting a ton of work into it. So for that is just amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And there's just so much for me. I was I looked towards the environment straight away and the world itself, and saw the livelihood, it coming to life, even though there wasn't a lot of NPCs spaced out running around, etc. It just looked so alive and authentic, and that's what appealed the most to me. That's what I look towards mostly, is having a world that is populated and the designing's done correctly. Obviously, there's so much that they mention that is coming up and what they have plans for, but it's always been the environment to me. If I have a really good environment around me, I will enjoy the game, regardless of what's in there that I dislike or like, or etc. So it came down to that, and the game looks just it's coming along really well. It's stunning. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that have worked with the Unity engine in the past or have played games made through the Unity engine. The past ones don't really seem to do it much justice, because I myself worked with Unity 2, and it was kind of lackluster. But seeing what VR has been able to do with it is just astounding. Like, I may dust off a book or two and try to get back into it again. It seems like they've come just an astounding distance since then. And granted, VR are a bunch of MMO veterans and know exactly what they're doing and how to do it. But just the things they pull off, you never would have thought it would be capable with Unity.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go and, while we talk a bit about the game, I'm going to go and let my my video speak for itself, so the viewers can actually see the screen grabs and what I've been taking. So it's going to switch over to that video, and they can all go and view that while we talk a bit about it. So do you want to quickly go and mention some of the keynotes, more or less, Lex? Stuff that got revealed.
I threw all my notes away. I threw all my 9 pages of notes away.
You threw them away.
Just off the top of my head. Well, we certainly know that Rogue's going to have backstab. We saw Co-Carnage do that. CC is definitely going to matter. They have a nice graphic on CC'd creatures, which is going to be great for visual indicators for your group mates. We got climbing. The acclimation system got a little more detail, which is awesome. So a racial trait that we may see is the ability to get through or to be unaffected by lower tiers of a certain environment. There's going to be 5 tiers of those environments, and there's going to be 6 different environments. I don't remember them all. I'm sure someone in chat will put that there, but there's a very wide range of them. The environment atmosphere system is great. They have everything from the atmosphere can hurt you, to you need a specific item to be able to stand on a almost illusionary floor. They mentioned all the items that you need to overcome these particular atmospheres are questable. They said that crafting is going to be very, very important in the game throughout the entire adventure, from 1 to whatever the max level is. They've discussed that the zones are going to be huge and not necessarily horizontal in nature, as we saw with Amber Fate. It was a vertically designed zone. And even though it was a raid zone in the basement, the upper levels were for groups.
And that's actually pretty interesting and intriguing as well, having a mix of content, scaling from group content to raid content. Definitely very interesting. I mean, it has been done before to some point in other games where you do have the occasional raid mob at the upper level or lower level, but it's actually really interesting, because it sounds almost like they want to do that on the grand scale. They also mentioned in having different levels of mobs in each individual zone, etc. So you have
multiple tiers in the same zone.
Yeah.
Right. So technically, like, we don't know to what extent, but it sounds like you could be in a single zone, say Thrown Fast, and you could be good at almost any level. this may seem like a bad design choice because, what if the lower level wanders into a high level area? Well, you should see mobs.
They won't wander there
see
twice.
What level they are. See what level they are and what their disposition is towards you before you go up and try to shake their hand. But it's a good idea because this intermingles the entire population.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with a lot of MMOs today is the fact that when the higher level people progress,
when they make it to the end zone, they don't relieve.
They progress, they get farther detached from the general population until that population catches up. At which point, it's not so special to see a high level person. Let's see. They've also talked about how they're going to address twinking. If, say, a high-level raid boss drops a sword, you give it to a level 1 character, it's going to be scaled down.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Which is
like
great.
Like a recommended level type thing, so
right.
they'll grow into it.
You might be level 50 to get it, but it might be recommended for a level 40, which means it doesn't come into full power until level 40, but you can still equip.
Yeah, which is definitely interesting because if you look back at your games when you were, pulling up a twink, you had all this high-level gear, and all you did was rush your twink up to max level so you could finally wear that gear. Now, you don't need to rush. You get that gear, boom, you give it to him, and then it scales down. The question is, does it grow with him?
Right.
That's the other question.
It should.
Will it
you
grow
level
with
up
him?
and you get a little stronger, which is great. But, I mean, this is good news because this shows that they're trying to design a game that is all about the journey. It's not about, walking along the dotted line to get to the end game, get tired, move on, which happens with every single game. Even with WoW and their expansions, it's still the same thing. Walk that dotted line from hub to hub to hub, do the raids, and then you retire till the next expansion. That's not what Pantheon's going to be. And it's very obvious in just the design of it that it's all about, you get a character to max level, well, you're probably going to want to make a new character, be it straight just a regular, normal character or through the progeny system, just for that journey.
Yeah.
They did mention, because I know that I saw a comment up in chat about Archive being, topless. No, that is not what they're going to be like. There is going to be equipment graphics, but when you think about it, they're going to have tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of unique items. And they're going to add unique graphics to as many as they can. And obviously some are going to have to share graphics. But there is going to be different visuals on your character. Don't worry, because I'm pretty sure I'd get tired of looking at all the shiny stuff on an Archive, getting distracted. That will be an issue.
Yeah, there was a big question came up about the gnomes as well. The mask. People really hope that they have individual masking. And it's not going to be...
I bet you'll be able to detail it just like you would a normal face. You can picture you're playing.
I have a strong suspicion that's going to be a character customization thing.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
A mask or a bronze mask or a mithril mask.
You'll be able to change the metal and also, bigger nose, smaller eyes, change the glow color of your body behind the wrappings.
Yeah, for those of you that are interested in the gnomes, I would seriously put my money on the fact that your mask will be customizable, very, very similar to a face.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know some people have mixed feelings about the whole climbing thing, but here's the thing. They said numerous times that the climbing isn't something that's necessarily going to be absolutely required. It's just something to add a little spice in the area. So yeah, you can jump and jump and jump and jump over these rocks to get up this hill, or you can find a climbable surface. It's just multiple ways to get to the same objective, which brings me into the next thing about the quest system. They mentioned that quests are going to be able to get in there, injected into the quest line through multiple entry points, which is just phenomenal.
The question is, though, how they're going to assess the risk versus reward, the progression versus reward, etc. as well. Because if I start off with a quest from the beginning and then you jump in halfway or midway or 3/4 in, will the reward be just as valuable to you as it is to me?
That was my main concern when we were talking about it after the stream, is that you know, if somebody, why even do the first 5 legs of it if you can jump in on leg, you know, 5 and there's 7, you know, parts, and just do the last 2 and get the same reward. Like you're gonna circumvent all that other stuff, but
chances are, if I had to put my money on anything, it would be that each of those lower ones could give you items, could give you money, could give you experience, and it's up to you. Do you want to just bypass those, or do you actually care what you get? I mean, if you're leveling, every little experience counts.
But the thing is, though, you know, they talked a bit about, you know, the quest system, and it was mainly focused on the perception system. You know, we cannot forget that we have the dynamic questing as well. That will be coming into play, which makes it very, very interesting, because all of these mechanics put together will make for a very cool adventure and storytelling scene from your game experience over the years to come.
Right. Besides epics, which will be very linear, which, by the way, epic items and epic abilities, freaking awesome. It's going to be very difficult to actually like plan your journey, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can be like, yeah, I know there's a quest to go into Blackdecker Keep from this person, so I'm going to run up to that person. Well, then a dynamic quest starts, and then this starts, and then that goes, and all of a sudden 3 days go by, and you're like, I never even got the quest yet, kind of thing that you were aiming for. Yeah. But in actuality, I think that's a healthier style or design choice for the game, because people like me, if I have to do the same quest lines over and over and over again, like if I make an orc in WoW and then I make a Tauren, I get a few that are a little different, but then after I get through my newbie zone, it's all the same. That's where they lose me. I'm just like, ugh, no thanks. You know, it's like, here we go again. Dragons have definitely been confirmed.
Oh yes, different kinds as well.
Yep, different kinds, different species, I guess you could say, because they're going to have worms, wyverns, dragons. If you are familiar with the different, or what makes them all different. They very briefly mentioned porting, how not all porters are going to be created equal, because you might be able to attune yourself to a specific location, which gives you an extra port that others may not have. Great. So I mean, since ports are going to be very, very limited, or fast travel in general is going to be very limited, then sweet. I mean, that's going to be awesome. They even talked about the possibility, as I dust, you know, the chip off my shoulder here, caravans for group and guild travel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They did touch on mounts a little bit. Probably, they said most likely higher level only. And I don't really see them going to flying mounts ever, so I don't think we ever have to worry about that. Because I think they believe, as much as most of the community does, that flying mounts, not a good thing. Neat, but not good. Let's see, what else?
Yeah, it's so much funner to train a zone on a horse than it is to fly over the content.
Right.
I mean, let's talk about the you know, the visuals from the stream as well. You know, the shadows, the lighting effects, the day and night cycle, what we saw, etc. How that has come along, and you know, there has to be noted as well that the fine arts have not been even implemented yet. The full lighting system has not been implemented yet. The full weather system hasn't been implemented yet. The shadows haven't been, you know, adjusted accordingly, and it still looks awesome.
Right. If you remember the older streams, they had mentioned multiple times that they were further along on the environment than they were on characters. And it was plainly obvious back then. If you look at those old ones and then you come into the newer stream, you're going to see that even though the environment was further along, much further along, it's still improved. The lighting's softer, the shadows have sharper edges.
Can I just point one thing out as well that I've seemed to, is either it's my eyes playing games with me, but if you look at the characters on the video running, they all run differently. The ogre, you can actually see him. You can see his body weight actually be affecting his run, and you can see the gnome run a bit faster. They have all different strides as well. It seems to
Well,
be.
yeah, and they're still
they
tweaking the animation too,
Yep.
so it's not.
Yeah.
And it's
The animations
no,
are
I'm
still-
saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's a good thing. They've actually,
Yeah.
taken that to attention as well. When you're running, each character runs and moves differently.
Right. Although it's not finalized yet, and I know for some people it might be very difficult to see. When the gnome's running, he's actually kind of bouncing along.
Yeah.
But the ogre, when he's running, he's actually, it looks like he's 300 pounds. He's like,
stomping.
big,
Stomp.
massive stomps.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be much more pronounced as things develop, which is going to be awesome. There are going to be flying mobs. We did see some griffins flying by at one point, even though they were a little buggy. Probably their first pass at implementation. We saw some mobs being social. We saw one spot where the model wasn't in, and you get a big snowman, marshmallow guy kind of thing, which is pretty cool. I want to see if I find some of those. Incoming marshmallow man, run for the hills. Oh my goodness! But yeah, in terms of even pre-alpha, even though this is pre-alpha, this is astounding. I mean, you could nitpick a lot of little things, but they're nothing that's even remotely worth putting a mark against Pantheon. Like the fact that the weapons are attached to open hands. Oh no, what do you do? I could deal with that, and I'm the kind of person that if I see my character running and the land or the ground slides underneath his foot, that drives me nuts. Like, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but it makes me freaking loony. I didn't get that from this, even though I know it's still got a little bit more to go. They did mention about their first wave of testing. They're really, really hoping, fingers crossed, but no promises, for the first or second quarter of 2017.
Yeah.
All we can do is pray to the various digital gods that they can pull it off. If not, we have to be very accepting that they need a little more time.
Yeah.
I think it's plainly obvious that Pantheon is not going to disappear on us, is not going to fade off like a certain other one. So patience will probably go a long way with this. As it is right now.
Like I said, they've showed us about 5 zones or whatever, and you got to figure that that's only like a tenth of the map. Like they still have another, 40 zones to build. I mean,
That will be pre-alpha testing.
Yeah, the Q1, 2, or Q1, Q2 for that we just said was going to be for pre-alpha testers only. And it might only be a few. It might be all of them. It might even be a case of when you get in, this is your zone you're assigned to. You have to go in and try to find bugs. But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of like just vibrating, trying to not lose my mind because I want to get in there so bad. One thing I want to ask you, Kodiak, because I know you're a shaman guy. I'm assuming these characters are lower-ish in level.
Mm-hmm.
The shaman had his pet, and the shaman looks like he easily took over the main healer role. How does that make you feel?
Oh, that's fine. I mean, he was a backup healer because they had a cleric, and so that's fine by me.
Yes, I know in EverQuest 1, shamans didn't get their pet until like 32.
Yeah, it was like mid-30s or whatever.
If they get, I know it's not final, but if they do get them at lower levels, I don't know. I might be rolling me a shaman alt.
Well, so all the question of how you get to interact and use that pet. Is it going to be your basic pet that we know from EverQuest or EverQuest 2, or is it going to be a pet that you can actually interact more with? That's the question as well. That
if you look at like EQ1 Beast Lord, right? They're basically a shaman and a monk or whatever. So if they take away the fighting aspects and maybe increase the shaman abilities, here you go. Still get a pet and.
Yeah, we saw an awful lot of abilities from the shaman. They all seem to scream EverQuest 1 to me. We did see that the shaman at this lower-ish level, I'm assuming, again, did have group buffs, which it makes me freaking happy as you wouldn't believe, even from a tanking perspective.
I'm guessing, Celan, there's going to be at least one kill X amount of rats quest. You can't have an MMO without kill X amount of rats.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have a sewer system, so they're gonna have rats.
Actually, you mentioning that with the sewer.
It might just be a collection, like you have to, collect a bunch of rat tails and turn them in.
You mentioned that with the sewers, it will be coming up on the screen very soon. When we get to that point, I need to talk about this, because when I saw it and actually took the time to go and review where they entered Amber Fate, whatever you want to call it, the ice door, whatever you want to call it, actually had what looked like a sewer grate.
Yeah.
So when we get to that, I'm going to pause it and you guys take a look at it. It actually looks like a proper sewer grate.
See, and that's the other thing is that, okay, for streaming and testing purposes, like I said, I'm assuming they pretty much have everything set to like level 13 or whatever, right? But they're going to be stretching these levels out. So, like they were in a level 40 zone, but all the mobs were set to level 13. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to kill a level 40 at 13, and vice versa. So same with the abilities that we're seeing. We may not get that pet till the mid-30s. It's just for testing purposes that they have the pet out, just to show us. You know what I'm saying? And same with all of these abilities. We don't know when we're getting them or how we're getting them. It's basically just to show us, hey guys, this is the concept that we're going for, and that's,
Yeah. For all we know, it could just be, hey guys, we put the first, steps in for pets. Try this out, see how it works.
We have it on screen. It should be coming up to you guys right now. Right? Look at that and tell me it's not a sewer grate.
Oh, you couldn't.
That looks like a manhole cover.
A manhole cover, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Manhole cover. It looks exactly like a 100% design manhole cover, and I have to say, it looks like it's German design. That's what our German manholes look like.
Or a shield, or a giant shield.
Or a shield.
I had to point that out. It was funny when I saw it, because I spent actually quite some time looking at it, and then I went and actually Googled manhole covers, and. Yes, the resemblance is very close.
That could just be where they got their what's the word I'm looking for? Their inspiration.
It could be, yeah, but it's unique and it's it's original. I have to say it's highly original.
Yeah, and supposedly you need a key to open that door. I'm got my fingers crossed for a key ring, because I hate carrying around 40 different keys trying to remember what's for what. Hey, look, it's a stone key. Okay, what's it for?
Well, yeah, that's what because I mean, if we're gonna have tons of quests and tons of zones where you have to find a key to enter a door, blah 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 blah, dig through the rebel, they better be a key ring.
And now I'm just realizing as well, in the ice cave, there's also manholes. There we go. That's very interesting. I'm gonna have to go in there, reach out to VR and the guy who designed this area and ask him where the inspiration came from, if there is actually some kind of connection. But it's definitely interesting. I
think it's more of a dwarven symbol or something.
It could be, yeah.
Most likely. It's
like a crest. It's like a dwarven crest or something because
it's interesting though. It's just the resemblance is so close. But this ice cave, that they showed us,
I can't get over the reflections.
Yeah, it looks great. Now the question is,
the other thing is when they implement the slipping.
Exactly. Will we see something like that? Will we see?
And that reminds me of Velks. I remember playing in Velks and EQ1 and sliding all over the place with those ice spiders.
Now imagine running through that hole where they are now fighting the encounter. It should come up to you guys in a minute. And now that whole entire area is slippery and you fall off the cliff. That would be awesome.
I can just see it now. People, when I'm playing with them, they take their headsets off because I'm sitting there cursing because I slipped and fell off for the third time in a row.
And the thing is, right, Kodiak will back me up here. This is where dual shields would come in good and handy to stop you from sliding.
Nope. I don't care. I'll fall on my head.
When I was gonna say with Velks though, I mean we used to fall off of there all the time, and if you were second or third tier up, it would be fine, but anything higher than that, you'd die, insta death.
Yeah, it's
But
definitely...
it would be nice if there was some.
Oh, that was the you had to turn. Well, no, you had to turn your run off. You know, you could toggle
you had to walk.
run walk. So you had to turn your run off in order to walk on the ice. I remember doing that.
Yep. I mean, just look at it. That is such a pretty freaking zone.
Well, as I said, I love the fact that they made it like a vertical ascension versus just a giant zone like Avenger's Passes.
And plus as well, the way they've designed it, you have to actually find your way up there. There isn't a set path. In most games that have added vertical designs to it, there's always a set path to it. There's one way to go, period. Here, you have to really look to find the right way to go, and there seems to be multiple ways down.
Yeah, it's like if you can jump on this rock.
There's definitely multiple ways down. There's only a few ways up.
Yeah, I mean, nothing screams options like if you want to jump on that boulder somehow, and then jump across this little chasm. And somehow hit this one ledge and then climb up, so be it. That's your way up.
I know we talked about this before the stream, but they definitely said that your rig will dictate the far clip, right? I'm buying a new rig when this is released. End of story. So
anyone with a modern rig is probably going to be pretty fine. Like, I doubt I'm going to have to upgrade mine, but
but still, you know, if you got the time, you got the money. Hint, hint, put the money aside, save it up, and then go out and buy yourself an awesome rig.
Yeah, because it's all good. All these, you know, being able to see so far is all dictated by your performance.
Yeah, and I mean, you got time to save. You could save.
Yeah, I mean, just even that forge thing that's up there is amazing.
Yeah, the forge.
And having to, take a crafter with you along with your group up to the forge. You probably have to do quests for that blacksmith guys to gain faction in order to even use his forge. So you're going to be fighting in this zone, or doing something for that guy to gain faction to use his forge. So you can forge epic stuff too.
And I don't know how some people feel, but if I saw a crafter that wanted to go there, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. I don't know you. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's get him up there.
Yeah.
That there's an adventure in itself.
Yeah.
And while you're up there, can you make me this? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, get on the good side of crafters. Crafters are that big of a deal. You want to be on the good side of every crafter you meet.
That's actually an interesting thing as well with the crafters zone. It's about time.
It's about time that crafters got their due.
Well, the other thing, if you looked at the loot from the golem at the very end, he had like 2 different types of ore and then 2 like items. So like the raid mobs are dropping crafting components. Rare crafting components, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so it's both sides of the spectrum complement each other. The adventurers help the crafters, and the crafters help the adventurers. There's no reason not to help each other out.
It's not going to be any more important than the other. They're going to need each other. They need to have a symbiotic synergy relationship. Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, if you look at that now, right? They're jumping up the rocks to get up to the top, but there's also another path leading up.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken a different path, so it's intriguing. Who would think to go and jump on these rocks and see where it leads you?
When they asked him like, hey, how do you think you should go up there? And he's like, oh, this one. That's when I would be like, go ahead, Lex. You try it first, boss.
Away you go! Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rogue's rope system works, because they had mentioned that if there's not a climbing surface, a rogue may be able to create one with a rope.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be kind of cool.
The developer side of me is sitting there going, how would you do that? But, I mean...
Or even if a ranger, I just had an awesome idea. If a ranger could put an arrow in a wall and maybe using that as a pull-up thing, like a stepping system, like they could shoot arrows into the wall and you could use those to climb up.
That'd be cool. I think that'd be really neat.
Push the ogre off the edge. Do it.
Do it. Watch him go splash.
Push the ogre off the edge. I'm surprised actually. that there wasn't more falling. I was expecting
Well, they
to
were
see
going
more
very
falling.
carefully. But see, I can't even watch the stream because I see where they're at now, and all I do is I go, what? And just stare at it. You know? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing a show. Crap! I gotta pay attention.
Yes. So anyway, let's go and talk a bit about what about the reviews and everything. I'll pause this for now, everybody, and we'll go and cover some of the review footage right now. And our first summary actually, 30 pages long, is from Nick Hotz. I'll just call him Nick Hotz. He actually took the time and pulled up a summary about the stream with all the links to the VODs from Co-Carnage and the Visionary Realms YouTube, as well as on that you have the official social media linked in here, and then all the questions and explanations, and with timestamps. So if you go and click on
I see that. I thought that was pretty cool.
It will automatically take you to that point in the video where it talks about that explicit question. So very, very neat rundown. A lot of work, and kudos to Nick for doing this. He also added the abilities that he could pull out, like Bandage. He's showing here all classes Bandage, the spell GM Kill, Rogues, spells that he's listed up here. You know, he talking about Backstab earlier on. There you see it. There's Backstab in there as well. So he took a lot of time going through all of this, and you know, listing it up, what he could catch, what he could grab off of the stream itself, talking about atmospheres, characters, what he saw. A very neat link up. Then he shows off here some of the skills that you can see: Bandage, Climate Resistance, Climate Travel. Remember we were talking about Climate Travel?
Yep.
Kodiak? About being in a certain zone for a certain period of time to build up your climate resistance, etc. Could that have something to do with that? Defense, evocation, fortification, hand-to-hand, illumination, invocation, manifestation, materialization, meditate, offense, one-handed blunt, one-handed piercing, shield, spell identification. So that's definitely interesting. Swimming, two-handed, obviously, and much, much more. Very neat. He also shows off the progeny system in its first revealing. You either embrace it or disregard it. So really cool gathering of notes. And actually,
well done.
Very well done in that short time, because it came out about a day later, I think. He had it put together very, very fast. So kudos to him, and you guys should check it out. I'll give you the link to everybody who wants to go and have a look at this for themselves in good time. The link is here. And then we have a review from Buzzweaver. He did a 12-minute review about the stream himself, so go check that out as well to get some details from his point of view and what he thought. That's the link to that as well. And then we have Sludgebeard, who apparently I think was the second one to do a review. He was the second person to put out a review on this, so check him out as well. Then you have this is EQ OA Nostalgia with a 25-minute summary. Some interesting stuff to also look at, so I'll give you these links here. And then the German community actually went ahead and took the stream and translated everything into German for the German community. Kudos to them for putting this together so fast. Wonderful work. It's good to see that the German community is trying to bring the love over to you know, Europe, Germany, etc. So for all those people that are German speaking, might be a few out there, here's a link as well to the German channel. And then we have obviously the voice of Terminus, that's our video we did on the scenic footage. You know,
to watch them, they're scrubs.
Yeah, to look at the game, and then we have our almost 3-hour post-stream review where we talked a bit about the game. So that's quite a lot of attention for these guys, and there's lots more most probably still coming.
I'm really glad that the community is like so amped about this. You know, so I think we all are.
We definitely are. Yep.
Yep. I'll be right back.
All right. So I'm going to bring up some footage as well, some screen grabs that I grabbed off of the game itself, and I put those into Discord and YouTube. Let me get rid of that Scarface. I'll talk to you about that. So I grabbed this screen because I was watching my scenic footage again, you know, in a good time. And if you look to the right, you actually see a windmill. I don't know if you guys can see the mouse on my screen. I doubt it very much, but there's a windmill on the right side of this this screenshot, and you know, it looks amazing. It's stuff like this that I was looking for. I was looking for, you know, identification marks, stuff that, you know, wasn't necessarily seen, and there's a windmill actually over there, and it looks pretty neat. Another good screenshot was this as well, you know, a nice something that sticks out. Seeing that ruins basically above the mountain caves or the mountain itself, and it looks very intriguing. So these are some of the screen grabs that I grabbed. Here's something with the climate, and you can see scaffolding. So obviously this is, you know, this ruins is either being built or modernized or kept together, whatnot. There might be some invading force coming together here. It looks really, really cool. And the ruins itself gives off some kind of, for me personally, when I look at that, it reminds me of an Italian church. An Italian ruins, Italian church, you know, Italian structuring. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And they did mention that the faction that was in that area was Union of Shadows.
And then there's another shot.
It reminds me of like the guys from Vexthal back in the EverQuest.
Yeah. And here's another shot basically from inside the cavern when the Ahai shaman walked right in. I grabbed this shot because I thought it looked pretty unique and very interesting, intriguing. And then the final one is this. We all know this shot. It's just mind-blowing. It makes you go and crap yourself.
Excuse me while I clean my pants.
It does. It shouts intense, and you know.
It shouts, I'm gonna have some fun in there.
And also, it's like, you know, you have to tiptoe and be quiet because those rocks might fall down if you talk too loud. So that's some of the stuff that I grabbed basically and thought, you know, it's worth sharing because we don't have any screenshots, but we have enough footage. So definitely go out and view these videos and try and see if you find out any of the interesting viewpoints and share it with the community for sure.
Yep, spread the love to all of our fellow Pantheon brethren.
So before we go back,
yeah, we're gonna have a contest who can still live after jumping off of that bridge up there or something.
Okay, so you heard it first. You heard it. We have already a next to next competition, so it's already the third competition that's been announced by Kodiak. So
well, we can't do that one until we're in game.
Exactly. So we have to wait for that. But we have our very own Scarface competition coming up. So I mentioned this. When was this? Last week. I think it was last week. I mentioned this on Thursday. I think it was on Tuesday. I can't remember. That we're going to have our Scarface competition. This is going to start basically next week. We will announce the competition officially, have all the advertisements done. But what we talked about basically to revamp, Lexa was talking about the Scar and how we would like it to look. We got kind of sidetracked towards the
No. I was talking about how when I make characters, I tend to try to make them look like myself because that's how I get immersed in games. If I can't make a character look like me, I choose the most monstrous, mean-looking SOB I can.
So anyway, regardless to that, he talked about, him making his character look like him, and since he wants to go and play as Scar, we thought that would be actually fairly interesting to come up with a design of this Scar with a beard and give it some hairstyles and everything. So we want you guys, it doesn't matter if you take the picture of the Scar from the websites and use Photoshop, or if you go and sketch something, send us your pictures. We'll let you know where to send them to and when the competition is going to officially start and end. And the best picture that makes us go, oh yes, that actually works. It has to actually look fairly decent. We don't want you to just go and take some crayon, and we want it to actually give it some thought to it and try and come up with a Scar with a beard and give it some crazy hairdo that looks like Lex. So that will be the next competition. So let's go back to the video itself and talk a bit more about the game. So anything else to add? Kodiak, you've been quiet all day. You've given a few
he's angry that he's not playing
thoughtful insights and anything to add?
No.
He's just angry and frustrated that he's not in the game right now.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I mean, it does. It looks, when I saw this stream, I was watching it the whole entire time. Hardly any glitching, hardly any bugs.
The stability is unbelievable.
It's like, this game's finished. Let us in already.
I saw a few bugs from Carnage's perspective, but it was nothing major. Nothing that would be game breaking.
Yeah.
But I'll let them take their time.
Definitely.
Because if there's any bugs to be found, I'll probably find them.
So let's go and ask chat, actually, because I want to know from chat. What was chat's most favourable moments of the game? And I'm going to go quickly pause this video again because I want to get chat actually into this. So there's the chat again, back in. So chat, tell us what you liked the most about the stream. What was your favourite moment? Only one moment. That's a stipulation. You can only mention one thing that really got you so hyped and happy about it. Share it with us and let us know.
The one thing that makes you dream about Pantheon now.
Archive women. No, I'm kidding.
Because that's only because there's no chest armor.
What's that? Age of Conan.
Mechanics. Risk versus reward. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Interdependence of classes.
What's that? What did he call instead of like the try? He called a quad something.
It's a quadrinity now.
Quadrinity.
CC is now a part of the Trinity in Pantheon. It is a requirement for a group.
Yep. The quadrinity.
Yep.
Which is actually a word.
Yep, it is. Brad looked it up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the perception thing. I love the fact that the NPCs, engage you as you run past them, or or whatever. It's not like
what we were talking about. Instead of just running through a area and going to the NPC and going, "Hey, dude, you got a quest for me?" No, he goes. She starts crying. And you look to see what's wrong. And then you go and see what's wrong. And then she talks about her, brother or something like that gone missing. And that's how you start the perception quest.
Right.
It's cool.
And I think Carnage hit the nail right on the head when he described Pantheon. It's what EverQuest 2 should have been. Its own little thing, but highly influenced by EverQuest. With the same feel, the same community dependence. It's just, it feels right, but it's its own entity in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's one thing that we have to, I can't empathize this more and more. Yes, it's connected to EverQuest, it's connected to Vanguard, but Pantheon is going to be its own entity.
I mean, even the devs, when they lost concentration, they're group wiped. And these guys know every aspect of the game.
Or do they? Or do they?
Well, I'd hope
Brad
so.
even said that he is not micromanaging this product or this production method or as he has in the past, so that he gets surprised when he plays it. He didn't even know what griffins were. And it was just like, oh god, griffins.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yep, definitely. So, yeah, we're almost there. So, next Thursday, we will be talking, well, actually this Thursday, not next Thursday, this actual Thursday, coming up, we will be talking about the, Necromancer. Pure speculation.
Yep.
So we get to go and rip this class apart and roll with ideas that are going to make your inner gut twist and turn and spew out because it's completely off the radar. So join us on Thursday for a very intriguing discussion on the Necromancer, because somebody actually already gave me a cool idea on our forum about a healing Necromancer. So that is definitely something I'm going to be bringing up and talking about the Necromancer from a healing perspective and completely throw everything out of perspective as we know it so far. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Join us for that on Thursday. And this Friday, I don't have the ad up, but I will do that right now. This Thursday, bear with me. We have this Friday. Basically, we have the we have Ben Kilson Walters and Jason Madaki Bolton with us to introduce Madaki more to the community and talk a bit with him and get back in touch and talk again with Kilson. So join us for that on December 16th. And then we have one more week of streaming and we go into break. So we will finish, our last stream will be finished on the 22nd. And Sintro has something special for that stream coming up on the 22nd. So definitely join us for that one. It's going to be a chat-related giveaway, sponsored by Sintro. So join us for that next Thursday as well. Not this Thursday, coming the one after that, 22nd as well for that. And yeah, that's us then for 2 weeks. We will be back on the 10th of January then. But we won't be completely away, you know. I'm sure Lexa will be streaming on his normal channel, and I'll be doing stuff
I will
on
actually
mine.
be gone from the 25th to the 27th.
Oh, that's right. Exactly.
But I will be streaming up until then.
Okay, so there you hear it. So let's go.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Awesome. So let's go and finish watching the last minutes of footage while we go and chime out and get ready to end the stream. Let's go into the closing thoughts, guys, and we'll start with Kodiak because Lex has been talking all night, and it would be a nice change to have a different voice appeal to the public. So, Kodiak, your last thoughts.
Please seduce me with your dulcet tones.
Well, I don't know about all that, but no, it's coming along great. Every time that they come out with something new or they show us something new, it's just like, wow, okay, win. I mean, I guess that's what's on everybody's mind is win,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Cool. Lex?
All I can say at this point is everything they've showed me, everything that we can speculate on, has culminated in this. Visionary Realms, Brad, Kilson, whoever is willing to listen. I will test for you 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just say the word, man. Just tell me to go.
Oh, Lex. No, not going to happen.
I will find a bug a day at the very minimum, I swear to God.
Or at least create one yourself, right?
Exactly.
Just find one once a day, and I will give you professional debug information.
But, what I want to point out is these guys are coming along really well. Give them the time to do it. We should not try and pressurize them. I know it's hard waiting, but they don't have anybody, a publisher pressurizing them. They're doing everything right so far. Give them the time. I mean, they've gone from June to December, 6 months, and look how far this game has come already.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of at a point where if we're willing to wait a whole another year before testing happens, look at it this way. Yeah, we gave them an extra year, but they're going to probably give us 10 in return.
Yep.
I mean, EverQuest 1 has been around for 17 years. And to me, in my opinion, right now, from what I'm seeing, this could overtake EverQuest in every respect. And I love EverQuest. So this could be a game that I play for 17, maybe even 20 years. Fingers crossed.
I'm going to be sitting here when I'm 90 playing this game. I want to be that dude. At 90.
Just call me Grandpa, aren't you?
No, it looks great. It does. It definitely, the whole world design has got me so hyped. That's the most important thing to me. Has always been world design. Me being an avid fan of building for Landmark, it's the attention to the small things that nobody else pays attention to that really get me. And it just looks amazing. Look at that view from there. They're looking down. There's this massive hole in the middle. It makes you want to just jump in and see what's down there, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's that dude's anvil.
Hey, Kodiak, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lex. Jump down there.
Whee!
We'll watch you die. Splat.
Actually,
contest.
the Ahai actually jumped, and he did not die. But
It looks like there might be water down there.
He might have had God mode on or something. Anyway, guys, this was it for Tavern Talk Tuesday. One more before our break. Join us Thursday for the Necro Manta discussion, and after that we have the Bard discussion, which a lot of people are looking forward to, and we get to take that all into a complete new dimension as well. So I'm going to see what kind of evil, twisted things I can come up with for the Bard, and that will get you all so mad at me. So join us next Thursday.
That's what'll get people's panties in a bunch like dual wielding shields. So.
I am so tired and ready to move on from that.
So with that, guys, have a good night. We'll see you on Thursday. And, feel free to use the imagery from our YouTube here, or from our Twitch stream here with the face of Lexar to get your scar going, your scar face, and send us those designs. That's it, Lex. There you go. So with that, guys, have a good night.
Good night.
Be safe, everybody.